Okay, let's see. Advice for giving CMAS the first time. First, practice, practice, practice for the kids, giving them as many opportunities on the computer, taking the test, asking you questions, going over the problems with them so they know what to expect, going over the writing pieces so they know how much to write, and then giving them test tips, strategies. I love to go over that. I think Becky gives that in the slide deck that you guys will be able to see. Great thing, because I love giving them tips, almost like one a day. It's kind of a fun thing to do. Another important thing as far as giving the test the first time, clearly explain like what's going to happen on the test and what your expectations are for the test. Are they going to be able to talk or anything or read? No. Are water bottles going to be on the floor? Can they not go to the bathroom all at the same time? Give them really clear directions, and you'll probably have to do it more than once, obviously. What else? Reading directions. Okay, this is a big one. Read the directions. When you get the CMAS booklet, read it before you read it for the first time in front of the class. Highlight the things you're going to say, mark the pages so you know right what to do. After you get through it the first and second time, it's going to be good. But that first time, don't just end up looking at it the day of the test. I think that's it. Good luck.
Some advice I would give to first-time CMAS friends would be, first of all, EAs and admin will come check your rooms. They'll make sure everything's covered up, and the EAs will help you cover it up. So that's one thing you can kind of take off your plate a little bit. One of the big things is you will get a folder with all of their passwords on there, and that folder you pick up right before you take the test. When you get your folder, it's actually a manila envelope. You will take this folder with you to the bathroom when you go. You go get ice from the office, you take it with you as well. Once your test begins, you will also have a proctor guide. We will help you highlight all the parts you need to say. So you just read what the book says. You hand out the passwords when you need to, and after they're all logged in, you gather them back up again. And after the test is done, you hand your folder back. Also, while they're taking the test, you're proctoring, meaning you're walking around the room, you're making sure everybody's staying on task, doing what they're supposed to do. You'll get a good step count in. Also, we'll have a text thread going on with everybody who's taking the test, so if there's ever any issues, you're nothing but a quick text away. Just don't take any pictures of any kids taking the test or their computers.
The first time giving CMAS can feel overwhelming, but each time you do it, it gets easier and easier each time. My 3 biggest things to keep in mind for successful CMAS is managing the technology, making sure you are clear on the directions, and then limiting the interruptions in your class. For technology, make sure you practice going to the platform so that you and the kids know where to go. Make sure everything's plugged in before you leave for the night. And also, I personally did not use the Chromebooks for anything other than testing on those days so that nothing happened. For the directions, as silly as it sounds, practice reading through all the directions to make sure you know all the pages that you need to read and what you can say. For interruptions, this one's probably the hardest one, but as a class, we came to an understanding of what a focused classroom environment looks like to us in the room and anyone who wasn't in the room. And I really stressed the importance of this test and that it was a state test and why things had to be a certain way. This part, you figure out what you're comfortable with doing in your classroom and what you feel good about interruptions looking like the more times you give the test. So good luck. It's going to be great.
Okay, so advice for CMAS. Do not let those tests go out of your hands even for a second. As soon as you pick them up, you hold them and you don't let them out of your sight. That would be one. Second is tell your kids ahead of time they are not allowed to talk, get up from their seats, all of that, because they will try to get each other's attention and talk, or not talk, but they'll try to get each other's attention and look at each other when they're done with their test. And I always tell them, the only thing you get to do is stare at the wall when you're done. You can't get up from your seat, so do your absolute best, take your time, because otherwise you're just going to be bored sitting there.
If I had to sum up my advice in one word, it would be confidence. As a teacher, you will need to be confident in your role administering CMAS. Be sure to read the booklet we get, ask any and every question you have about logistics. Make sure you feel comfortable with the schedule and the do's and don'ts as a teacher. And you also need to help your students feel confident in taking the test. If they're third graders, they're going to be very nervous before starting. Go through the tools with them, show them how to use them, do practice tests together, and be sure to give them lots of opportunities to ask questions and share how they're feeling. I would practice having a testing environment, such as not getting out of their seats, sitting and not doing anything when they're done with a test, and raising their hands if they need anything. If you're a teacher that typically has music playing during tests, then I would start turning those off now so they can get used to the room being quiet. Benchmark tests are a great time to practice having a good testing environment. You do not want CMAS to be the first time they are practicing these testing requirements. And I would say most importantly, let them know you believe in them. Tell them that they are prepared. Tell them they're going to do amazing. Encourage them to give their best effort. And try to help it feel like not a big deal, even though it really is. Good luck.
Hey everyone, happy CMAS season. I know it can feel super overwhelming when you're getting ready to give it for the first time, but trust yourself, trust your students, and believe that all of the work you've been doing since August will pay off. I would say the 3 biggest things that helped me feel prepared was number 1, getting tons of review in the weeks leading up. Make the review fun. There are lots of ideas online of ways to incorporate games. Get outside when you can, let them work in groups, partners, individually, and just get lots of practice. The second thing would give them lots of time, especially third graders, to get used to the online tools, because when they're actually taking the test, you can't help at all, and it's so frustrating for some of them when they don't know how to scroll or they don't know how to use the ruler and things like that. So just get them on the practice test and give them lots of time. And then the last thing is just to keep the encouragement super high the week of CMAS. If you can write little notes on the board, write little notes on their desk, get them little pieces of candy, all of that goes a long way to boost their spirits and make them believe that they really can and will do well on the test. Good luck, trust yourselves, you've got this.
If I could give advice for giving CMAS, it would be to be excited. The kids really, really want you to be proud of them and excited for them and believe in them. And I think that changes everything when it comes to CMAS. Of course, follow all the rules, follow the script, do all the things you're supposed to do. But most importantly, just believe in them. If you're excited, they're excited. It's evidence, it's proof of all the things that they've learned so far, and it's exciting for them if you're excited. If you are not excited, or if you're worried or scared, they're going to feel that same vibe. So I would just recommend being excited, believing in them, encouraging them. I used to say, kick this test in the butt. I don't know if you're supposed to say that, but I did. And I think it inspires them. You want to believe in them. It's their chance to prove what they know, to show what they know, show the state what they know. But that's what I did, and I think it sometimes helped, and I think that it relieved them and helped them feel like they were little, amazing little humans, and they did amazing things, and it was their chance to prove it and show it and celebrate their learning. Yeah, so that's the advice I have. I don't know if it's what you're looking for, and of course, like I said, follow the rules, follow the script, do all the things. Most importantly, just believe in them.